Not exactly what you would expect to see in a chemistry professor's office, right? Well, I don't know why not. We're looking at a bunch of chemicals here, mostly ethanol in this one, and a whole batch of chemicals in here. Now, first a disclaimer. I have never in my life tasted this particular beverage. I have never tasted Red Bull. Why are we talking about it? Well, we're talking about it because a question has arisen about the wisdom of mixing a beverage that contains caffeine, which is Red Bull, with alcohol. Why? Because of a possible cross-reaction between caffeine and alcohol. Well, first a little bit about Red Bull. What is it? It is called an energy drink. What does that really mean? Well, in scientific terms, energy really refers to the calorie content of a beverage. But they're using it in different contexts. They're using it sort of can rev you up and supposed to rev up your mind, supposed to rev up your body. How so? Well, what are the real ingredients in here? There's a great deal of sugar, at least as much sugar as you would get in a soft drink. So we're talking about 40 grams of sugar or something like that. There's also caffeine. The amount of caffeine is roughly equivalent to what you would get in a big cup of coffee. Then there's some taurine. Now, taurine is a biochemical that is found in humans. It's found in animals. And as far as I know and looked at all the studies, it doesn't have any energy-producing benefits. Why is it put in there? I suspect because this chemical was first isolated from bull bile. And bulls are strong, so this is supposed to create an image of strength, strong as a bull. So they put in taurine. There are also some B vitamins, but they don't give you any extra energy. So the real energy they're talking about here is caffeine. All right, well, what about alcohol? The mixing of caffeine with alcohol. That could conceivably be a problem because caffeine, of course, is a stimulant, whereas alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. So it is very, very possible that someone who mixes a caffeinated beverage with an alcoholic beverage will not feel as drunk as they otherwise would because the caffeine keeps stimulating them. Okay, well, anyway, I said I've never tasted this thing before. So what we're looking at here is a world first. As you can see, I don't even know how to open it properly. All right, so we've got some Red Bull here. So sugar, caffeine, taurine, B vitamins. Here's our chemical experiment. First time ever. Doesn't really stimulate me to drink anymore. Maybe if you put in a bit of alcohol. Of course, we're talking about a little bit, and we're not talking about a lot of Red Bull. In fact, it says on the bottle, do not mix with alcohol, which of course to many people says, yeah, let's go out and do that. Also says limit 1 drink a day of Red Bull. All right, so what about this combo? I don't drink on the job. Neither should you. And always be careful about the amount of alcohol that you drink. I don't think that mixing a little bit of Red Bull with a little bit of vodka is any great risk. But doing more than that potentially is. But I still, wouldn't worry about drinking an Irish coffee when it comes to St. Patrick's Day.